All right, welcome back. We are back at Battle Brothers. Got today off. Thank you, International Women's Day. So I got a little time to game and stream to myself. And wanted to hook up and welcome you along too. Looks like the stream is running pretty good. And we are online. So I've been running a bunch of episodes of The Black Company, A Deserter's Origin, but we kind of got our butts kicked, and I'm feeling like the recovery from that is going to be difficult with the point in the game that we are at. So I just feel like doing something a little different today rather than trying to slog a resurrection of that company. In that sense, I had recently taken a couple runs at the Legends origin of the Berserker, and I really kind of like it. It seems really hard early game. You have to be very careful and slow, but once you get rolling, he becomes sort of like a sword Dane, leaning towards fighting naked in the midst of his foes, and becomes kind of interesting. So I think we're going to give that a shot today, and we're going to change up, I think, the homage idea from the Glenn Cook books to the Abercrombie books that I like quite a bit. And we're going to name the company The First Law, which I think is essentially just violence, but I'm not sure. And I'm going to grab a gladiator looking, barbarian looking banner. I think that one's sufficient. Random late game crisis, permanent destruction on random seed. I'm going to go veteran, medium, Iron Man. I'd try to juice this up to expert, but just surviving the early game. This might be one of those cases where we're going to have to get a couple starts going, because it's almost just like good luck I've found to make it to where you can grow out. We're going to make sure all trade buildings are available. We're going to have Battle Sisters specific and everything else default. And off we go. I found the early game here, with the limited resources and the limited party members, that essentially you just need to be a caravan guard for the first bit until you can get to the first tier of renown and bump your character or party size up to 6. So tired you've been walking for weeks and haven't slept in too long. You stop and rest for a moment, and the thoughts return. The wooden hut you built together, the plot of yams she had planted, the evening you returned from a hunt. They had come, burned it all, the stores, the hut, the woman, the child. Their screams echo in your blood, calling you to avenge them. You should have been there in time. Her tortured last moments fill your mind. What they did to her was too unspeakable. The disgust and the loathing well up again. What kind of filth could rape and kill a mother in front of her child? Your heart pounds now, cold sweat and froth forms at the edge of your mouth. What kind of monster could then do these things to an infant child? Your mind snaps at the memory of their broken bodies. You scream with unbridled rage. Your muscles push up on you again. Running blindly into another day, you must find the killer. Those swines will know vengeance. Onwards. So we are Sako the Berserker. We are going to change that up to the Bloody Nine, who was a central character in the First Law. Essentially was a Berserker. It seemed like potentially a partially mystical Berserker. He has quite a perk tree. What we're going to end up aiming for is to get to the nimble trait, as well as potentially the nudist trait. Mostly all just focused on melee and like berserking. So Killing Frenzy was one that I did in a prior build. Muscularity, because we should give him Colossus off the bat, and then we can once we get to muscularity, we can up his maximum damage based on his hit points and just make him essentially a monster of the battlefield. Just what we're going to go for. First, we're going to swing into town, see what kind of weapon we can get. I think essentially we are going to go it alone. We'll see who we have potentially. Sancho, a cheap brawler might be a good early addition to the party too. And let's see what we have. If we grab Sancho, really don't have much in way of equipment here. So for the Bloody Nine, throwing axes aren't that great. He's not that good at ranged. It's kind of an unfortunate weapon start for him, mainly in that we're not very good at it, and we need a melee weapon, and they got not much here besides daggers and a stick. The septum he could do, but it's awfully expensive. We could get a half damage septum. Early on here, we're going to definitely take Colossus. We don't really have any spear perk groups, but we could just trade out that spear to another character a little later on. I think for this, we want to either focus on sword or axe as far as our weapon mastery, but for the most part, we're going to buff our general perks. I think right in the right in the beginning here, I think we're going to go survival. So we're going to take 25% on Colossus. I think survival instinct. We get just general 10% bump on all damage. Survival instinct. We get a stacking bonus on melee and range defense, and our defensiveness is kind of crappy. So we could buff it a decent bit. Dodge might not be terrible. We're going to try to focus on keeping our initiative rather high. We're going to specialize in light armor, particularly once we get to the point of nimble, where we're going to need to keep maximum fatigue penalty of body and head armor at 15. Right now we're at 9 with no head armor. We're also going to likely try to keep him fairly moving. We may go vigorous assault, which gives us reduced action points from movement, reduce action points on following attack. Yeah, I think right off the bat here, 15% is going to be our best bump to defense that we can manage here, and should go up as we also level up, so it should work in our favor. So we're going to keep our melee attack moving upwards. We're also going to keep our hit points moving upwards, and we're going to keep our initiative moving upwards, because that should also help our defense. Don't know if I really want to go unarmed at the moment. So once again, I think we're going to keep melee attack moving up. Going to take that +5 on health. I want to get some melee defense going because he needs to have better. He's got this huge trait, gives him 5% damage, but debuff on both defense scores. Kind of dumb. Unfortunate. You have a death wish. We're going to try Sancho out. Sancho is loyal and bloodthirsty. Welcome to the party, Sancho. All right. So what we're going to try to do for Sancho is we could use some headgear for both of us. We still have a good amount of cash. So we're going to grab hoods, even though they're a little overpriced. See what Sancho's perk tree is looking like. I think it's a little early to be worrying about perk trees, but nonetheless. Now that's the really kind of nice option for the Berserker Origin and Legends is everyone that joins the party gets the Berserk perk. They actually get a morale boost for learning a skill. And it looks like brawlers like that we're kind of crazy. He hits just as bad as hard as us with no weapons, which could be an interesting take on it. Like we could try to survive just punching people. I think that might add an additional challenge to this start that we may not want to accomplish. Could give him a spear and board, but a crappy spear and board. His melee, 59. It's kind of a tough start. I think we're going to sell our axes and it seems like a decent option to try to get this septum early on. But it's quite a bit of our cash too, and we could pick up a third brother at the same time. Let's take a look at the contract. I'm not going to read everyone this time. Just feel like playing a little faster. So barbarians raped and pillaged surrounding farmsteads. That sounds like the people that we would be after. They want us to go and kill them in their village. And we're not ready for that. Like, we're just ill-equipped. There's only 2 of us. I think what we're going to do is move on from Gunheim and try to find our way to another town where we might be able to equip out a little better. I think we got one down here. Berkthorn, party of mercenaries. Berktorn. See if we get a better weapon. Got better headgear. We're going to pick up that slightly damaged blacksmith apron and toss it out in Sancho. Upgrade his body armor just a little bit. We need to get ourselves some weapons. A sword spear could be decent for the barbarian or the berserker. 373 would be half our cash. And we could try to make Sancho a stunner for now. Give him a club and board. Let's go that route. Club and board it is. Got 474 left. Our burn is 13 a day. So we're going to give the Bloody Nine a Militia Glaive for the moment. See how that works out. Probably should have got a chain, but the effectiveness against armor is terrible. Would be nice to pick up some dogs if we build up any cash. Alright, we're going to move onward and try to find some caravans to guard. Mainly in that we should gain some advantage from the extra characters in the caravan. That'll help us survive, potentially. But we gotta be really careful, because just about anything this moment will kill us. I'm going to skip over Bramming Board because I won't have any contracts that we can fulfill at this point. White Blick. Has disappearing villagers. Nobody all that interesting to hire. We're going to drop bandages on the Bloody Nine. We're going to mark that tunic for recycling. We're going to drop the little sash on Sancho. Want us to go hunt beasts? I don't think we're ready to hunt beasts either just yet. Maybe we'll get a spot on who this is. Heading off into the mountains. We are not going to. Kind of odd there. Cracks just eat her out. More days of food. I think as an initial goal, we're going to try to get friendly relations. Which up here, because I think we're a barbarian, there is not a lot of friendliness towards us. Which is okay. People got to make their choices. Probably grab some more provisions. in a bad way. We need to get a quest that we can do. We don't really want to hunt beasts just yet. You know, beasts are going to likely be a batch of dire wolves or a batch of webnecks or nachos, and they're going to kill us. We just don't really have the men of the equipment to face them just yet. What would be ideal is to get some guard contracts. Another citadel, so we can't really gear up there. We're getting contracts, so I got to keep moving before our cash runs out. 3 days of cash. Probably have about 4 days of food. Keep moving, try to find it. Last time I tried the Berserker Origin, it took probably about 3 or 4 good tries to actually get the ball rolling because of the sort of weakness in the early game. I've pretty much learned to avoid all contracts early on for beast work. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Pretty much learned to avoid all contracts. We at least get our party size up potentially. So barbarian thralls. What we could possibly do is see if they go after us or the caravan. We could probably take them on with the caravan. The caravan has some hands with it. Might be a decent way to get a bit of experience. We kind of need it. We're going to run cash before we find a way. So we engage him, get the caravan to back us up. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to have the ranged advantage here. Oh, nice. Caravans are being aggressive. That guy's got the advantage of high ground. We could shield bash him off, then we won't be able to take it. There's 6 of them, so they're going to move up probably on this flank too. Going to move up, not close enough that we're going to get give him the opportunity for an easy attack. You're gonna try to get a shield bash off. We missed it. Dang it. It's unfortunate. Bloody Nine gets a good hit on him. We could be in trouble here. Nice. Throws a javelin into his own guy's back. Lose another caravan guard. I think they're going to go after the donkeys. He goes down for bleeding. Really can't get into attack range, so we're just going to grab the high ground. Throw up a spear wall. Stick to the high ground. This guy's wounded. See if we can get a stun on him. Didn't. Nice hits by the caravan hand. Yeah, we gave up the high ground. That was really the smartest. Lead takes him out. Good hold here. Move him off the high ground. What's up, babe?
Can I go to
No.
Aww. My girl just left.
Nice.
I need you to connect Josh's email to my phone.
I don't know what that means.
So, like you did mine. My email. I don't know how to do it. Never get a chance.
Okay. Yep. Are you guys done?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Broadcasting again? Yeah. Home duties. All right. Turned it around. Certainly lucky we had the caravan. As dedicated meat shields. Turns out that Scramsax guy turned out to be a badass. I'd like to hire him. Ooh, nice. Get some loot out of the mix. Take it. And the First Law survives their first encounter. Trading caravan's a little worse for wear, though. See if we can go and find somewhere to sell our baubles, but also get some jobs we can fulfill. I don't think we got any equipment we want to put on anybody. Cash would be nice. Another battle site. Heading back north soon. Yeah, getting a little dangerous. 5 thralls. I don't think we're ready for 5 thralls. And we took the wrong fork in the road there. And up in the north is likely more dangerous for our current capabilities. I think that road keeps on going. Horn. This mut's huddled together. What kind of condition we're in. So have a bit of repairs to do. I think we're going to try to camp here. See what this contract is. No, we are not going to kill beasts. So far, every contract we've gotten was a beast mission. Potential contract. So I have 2 hours of repairs left to do. I have a couple items in salvage. Gonna do that. We're gonna send the bloody scout. Could be dangerous. Gonna let that go until we have most of our salvage done. Hey, we get 2 units of tools. Used one in repairing. Time to get moving. They're not giving us great prices on our baubles. They don't really have anything we want to buy. I think we're just going to move on. Another contract came up. Shipment of goods to Whitehall. Take about a day of traveling. What are we going to get? 10 per head, 30 heads, and 110 when it's done. We're going to accept that. In the interest of having a few more meat shields. Just take a quick look at if there's anything real cheap that we pick up armor-wise. But there is not. So we move on. See if those barbarians get us. They just kind of ignored us. Alright, thugs and a poacher. Like it's 8. Definitely have the range advantage. I'm going to back up. Because we want to make sure that caravan guards lend us a hand. Another lesson learned on a couple of these origin starts is that the caravan guards will tend to stay near the donkeys. Like that. So there's no need for us to rush out into the midst. We got 3 guys with pole arms in this mix. Not ideal. And that bowman will do quite a bit of damage to us. We're going to move up, get a stun on them. Got the caravan guards engaging. Take that one off his armor. Guy's also got a militia glaive. Nice. Going after the donkeys. We can handle losing a donkey and losing a little bit of pay. Nice little barbarian action. The extra attack. Hop over. Miss the stun. Going to protect the donkey. Oof. It's a big wide swing. Nice, breaks his spirit. Will they come back and help us? They're just going to stick around the carts. Sancho's in a little bit of trouble. we move there, we don't get to attack. If we move here, we do. I think we can do a roundhouse and try to get them both. Get free move for kill. Sancho's kind of beat. I'll move him out of range and behind the bush. Try to live. Guy's bleeding out behind the cart. Looks like it's the Bloody Nine. It's Thug. Dazes him. Spend a moment. There we go. Nice hit. Killed that guy. Let the archer go though. Like Sancho got a fractured elbow out of the mix, but we got some gear, a little bit of cash, militia glaive, the tip staff. It's possible we may want to try to backline Sancho. That's melee defense, yeah. So for the moment, we're going to try to push him to the back. We're also going to repair that jab. Just put it on, so it'll repair on its own. Our apron's a little bit better, but in disrepair, if somebody looks like they're going to jump us in the near term, we're going to need to switch out that armor and get him a little more protected. He also has a level up. So eventually he has cleaver, sword, dagger, sling as his main weapon masteries. We do have a cleaver in our kit. There's like bloodlust, bloodbath, probably sanguinary. Yeah, sanguinary. So we could do the cleaver kind of build on him. Have anything that helps him as a backline guy at the moment. We could give him just a big bump in initiative. We could give him crippling strikes. For the moment, we're going to give him crippling strikes and hope that he can backline and wound folks in the front line of the enemy for the moment. I'm just going to repair that militia glaive. We're going to repair that armor. See if we can make it without additional issues. We're going to get an extra 40 crowns for the kills. I'm going to slow it down in case we get ambushed. Repairs are going. We don't have much repair. We don't have much repair at all. Got to repair that in the stash, see if it goes any faster. Really just slowing it down in case we see the bandits coming. Well, looks like we're going to make it. All right. So, we forgot to take his stat level up. Go look at his skill tree again, where we may end up going. I think we're going to probably give him dodge at his next level. So we'll keep his initiative high. I think health and fatigue. What else we're going to give him? Could have gone range defense there too. Getting slow repairs on what having stash and have equipped. See if they'll give us a good price on our bubbles. Still below market. I think we're going to hold on to them until we need it. No real armor upgrades available. Have enough food for a bit. See if anybody is worthwhile to consider. We don't have enough cash. Any of the poachers, who would probably be the main interesting guys here. The butcher could be, but he's also going to drain the majority of our cash unless we sell some stuff. See what the contract is. Yeah, I don't think we want to do much more than guard caravans in the initial going here. So, nothing really jumping out as necessary for our needs. At nighttime, it's dawn. We could probably settle in and try to repair Sancho's elbow. You know, he did make level 2. I think we're going to follow the same idea in the Black Company playthrough and give him a named man from the First Law book. I think we're going to call him Dog. Who was a rather long-lived character for that set of books. Hopefully it will create the same. That's too many thugs, and they'll probably catch us going through the swamp. It does seem to be one of the more difficult pieces of the Berserker start. You tend not to get any bandit rabble. Not sure if that's a Legends mod update of recent, but you tend not to see many rabble on this start, which makes the early bandit fights also particularly dangerous because they're better equipped. Coming up on another town. Just take a look inside to see what's there. It's like an armor or weaponsmith training hall. Useless information. So 1 to 4 days on his elbow. I think what we're going to do is jump into camp here. Hope that there's enough militia to protect us. I go in and heal his fractured elbow. 13 hours. If we drop it down to 8. So just going to work on his elbow. See if we can get it healed overnight. We're going to stick with it until his elbow is treated. Okay. Bleeding out, healed some. We treated Dogman's elbow, and we did a bit of repairs. See if we can get a good price on our baubles. 280, 202, so both over market. We're going to sell those. And see if we can get any we could do some upgrades here. So he's got a Wolf Gambison, which we're going to leave alone. We could upgrade Dogman's base layer to padded, or his overlayer from a leather jacket to something stronger. Taking something damaged for 115 seems like a decent deal for us. Take a look in the armor itself. So, there'll only be a few tools to repair this up. Probably not worth spending the extra $80 on it. But we'll be frugal. Take a look at who's for hire before we spend too much more cash. Terra Vanguard could be okay. Deserter, but he'd take all our cash. Deserter. Squire. Wouldn't be bad to get one of these archers, but it'd strain our bank pretty hard. Could sell off a few more things. Make up some of that difference. It would really only be if we tried them out and we thought they were really worthwhile, but that's going to strain our bank some more, right? So if we go in here and look at like Egbert, it's almost 100. Alderman is 80. I think our cash would be pretty tight if we do that. We may need to find another caravan run or two to do first. In that sense, it might be more worthwhile to armor up a little more. Yep. So we're going to go and grab two padded leathers. Put them on both of us. That should give us a little more survivability. I think once his elbow heals, which is going to be tomorrow, we're going to put him back to board and club. Let's go try to find a town that we can run some errands for. I think this road keeps going. Like 6 thugs and a poacher. Too much. Ooh, unless we get them to engage with the silver claw. See if we can third party this one and come out of it with a little extra cash. Like Dogman healed. Look like they're going to last very long. I think I want to. Okay. At least we get to the high ground. Should bloody line up. Back them up. It's all over it. I don't think it's worth going in that little gully and get bashed. Barely did any damage. Don't get any loot. That's okay. Still gets us so that we can continue on the road. Probably back it up and run alongside them a little bit. Definitely playing carefully, but I'm trying this Berserker Origin a bunch of times. It was the way of. It is the way. Essentially. Decent price poacher if we can build up a little cash. We're not going to go to the graveyard. Tough enough yet. So I think we're going to go back to board. Oops. Wrong way. Boarding club for Dogman. And we are going to recycle some of our stuff for some extra tools. For that extra fatigue is worth the 5 armor. like the mercenaries are going to drive those off. Yeah, we only picked up 2 units of tools off that. We have one more thing to salvage. Or at least you two. Let's just double check we don't get a better contract. Delivery. Going to Gunheim and day or so north. Going to take that contract. Gunheim is directly to the north, so I think we're going to try to cut through. Find some more map knowledge. Got 7 days of provisions. Most of it's going to spoil in 2. So we're going to pick up a batch of grain. Off we go. Assume that they killed the dire wolves. Skirt the edge here and just try to keep sort of maximum map clearing. Use some high ground. Tomb of the Old Kings. Trying to get a scout on it to see what might be in there, but it's probably more than we want. Gain 80 crowns. And there's something else to do here. Let's take a look, see if there's anything worth filling our last current spot. Go look at how far our renown is from. It's a long way. So we're only at 50. We need to get to 500 before we can have more guys. That is the challenge of the Berserker start. Get a caravan contract. We're not going to try to negotiate because we don't want to lose these. We haven't seen that many. And we're off. Sorry, I'm juggling poker chips. So, nice. Pick up the arming sword. I think that ends up being our weapon of choice for 36 to 52. 75% effective. Yeah, quite a bit more damage. I think we shall become a sword Dane. Nice if we could stick with this caravan and reinforce ourselves if we get attacked. There, we lost our backup. Oh, there. Reaching Ezerfest, the caravan leader turns to you, a large satchel in hand. 250 and 106. Nice. All right. We're getting a little better financial position. We also have this basic male shirt. Neither of us are running. Missed that. Fatigue. Have a spare. Drop it on you. See what we have in the way of any additional armor buffs. And a nasal helmet might not hurt. A little bit more, we can go rusted kettle helm. Be worth hiring first. Be kind of nice to find another brawler if we could. Take a look at those helmet attachments again. Seems to make sense to grab the nasal. I think because we need to keep him alive, that's going to go on Bloody 9. One more bump and then he'll get the experience that he needs to jump the next level. We're going to do perk-wise for him. Yeah, fluid weapon could work. Too bad. Right. I think we're going to cut this episode off here. That's an hour in. And it's got a few things to do around the house. Usually I take these things longer, but this is going to take a bit to get started here. And it's just going to be a few careful episodes before we have enough renown to get to 6 and can build out this party and make it as strong as it needs to be to survive this early part of the game. So if you're watching now, thanks for watching. If you're watching this later on VOD or YouTube, thanks for watching it then. Would appreciate any likes, comments, follows, or similar. Just to know that it's worth the time to push out. But for now, that's going to be it. This is episode 1 of the first Law playthrough. And we will potentially pick this up either later today or later this week. Thanks much. Have a good day.